and this is the Damn Homie Show. Today we have a very special guest. Please introduce yourself to my channel. Tell them your name.
Hey, what up? My name is Hector Bravo over here from California.
So I actually had somebody that I'm supposed to interview from the 60s put me onto your page, and it's such a great page. So for everybody watching, tell everyone what you do basically on your account.
So I quit the California Department of Corrections 3 years ago after working for the department for 16 years, and pretty much because I saw corruption and all kinds of crazy stuff behind the walls.
What was the final straw that made you say I have to quit? Like I can't take this.
There was a lot. There was a lot, but I would say when they began to mix general population inmates with protective custody inmates, pretty much mixing enemies together so they could kill each other.
Is it kind of like, you know how everybody's saying right now Blueface is on a 50-50 yard, but a lot of people are saying he's not. Is it like that type of situation?
Yeah, pretty much in California, everything has pretty much gone, I guess, a term 50-50.
Yeah. Why do you think they're doing that?
I think they are doing that to retaliate against the prison gang members for winning their lawsuit to get out of the SHU, the security housing unit. You know, all the gang leaders of every organization, they did a hunger strike in like 2012, so they got out in 2014, 2015. I think this is the way to get back at them.
Oh, because right now it's like they're doing more lawsuits. A lot of people are doing the one where you got touched when you were younger. So I know that's like $3 billion right there is going to that.
Yeah.
And so when they started mixing the people, was it a lot more violence that you saw?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like, prison kind of is always and will always be violent. But before that it was kind of a method to the madness. It was kind of normal violence that comes with prison. When this began, what it did, it created violence on a whole nother level. Even to the points where inmates were now beginning to attempt to murder correctional officers so they can preserve their own life, self-preservation.
But why would they need to kill a CO for that?
Because if we as COs are going to escort an inmate to a yard full of his enemies where he's going to get killed, it's much easier for him to just hit a cop, stab him in the neck, and get it over with. And then we're going to take him to the hole.
And then after the whole, he just gets moved somewhere else where his
Yeah,
enemies aren't. Oh, because if they get there and they don't want to fight, then they look like pussies, and then the gang disowns them. So they kind of have to take it out on you in a way so that that doesn't happen.
correct.
But so was there any good about doing your job? Like, did you feel like I mean, how do I say this? Like when you started, I'm sure your thing was I want to help people, but did you while you were doing it, did you feel like you were helping, or did you think that people looked at you as an enemy either way?
Well, I started in 2006, almost 20 years ago, at the age of 22. So my mindset was different. I had just gotten out of the military. I had just gotten back from a deployment to Iraq. So basically at the time I was more looking to like be in law enforcement and kind of just earn a pension.
Yeah.
It wasn't until years later where I developed as a man, where I got to see everything for what it was.
So when you first went to work there, what was your thoughts? Like, okay, it's a good paying job. Did you know how violent it was going to get, or were you not prepared for that?
When I it was a back then it was a us versus them mentality, the inmates versus the CO mentality. There was definitely a hard line in the sand at that time. Lifers were not going home. If you had life in prison, at the time the law was you were never going to parole. That would eventually change, but during the period of time we're talking about, it was extremely violent. A lot of race riots. You could have 200-man riots, 300-man riots, murders, attempted murders. So basically my job was to like quell the violence, which I found to be fun at that young age. It was right up my alley.
Yeah. How long were you doing the job before you got stabbed for the first time?
No, I never been stabbed.
Oh shit. Okay.
Never. Hell nah. I'm quick with it. Like no. I mean anybody can get stabbed, right? But I made it a point to not get stabbed. Like always looking around, always keeping dudes at an arm's distance.
Yeah. And if you're nice, I mean, people don't go out of their way to do that, really?
It don't matter if you're nice or mean. If you're gonna get stabbed, you're gonna get stabbed.
I heard you can't be too nice because I've heard from a CO that he tried to be nice and then the inmates basically got on him to like start bringing drugs in for us or we're gonna do something to you. So he had to basically them versus me type of thing.
So you're correct. Basically, if you're just respectful, firm, and fair and consistent, you'll be fine. You'll be all right. It's when people start going too far either way where problems start happening.
Oh, but they try to like keep their like, oh, don't go there, don't do this. It's like a grown man doesn't like being told what to do. So when you're picking on him and he's in prison, he has nothing to live for. In his mind, he's like, I'm never going home. Fuck it, neither are you.
That happens sometimes. Yeah, for sure, 100%.
As a man, have you ever wondered, like, when you see a female CEO, like, why are you doing this job?
Um, I've had good experiences with female partners. I've had bad experiences with female partners, but in the same sense, I've had good experiences with male partners and bad experiences with male partners. I try not to make it about gender, but I can clearly see how problems can arise, right? I can see, I mean, I've known more than five female COs that have hooked up with inmates in
They all got
relationships.
caught or no?
Yeah, yeah.
Damn, was there ever one that didn't get caught and you're like, damn, how did she do that?
Currently, there's one to have been currently. There's a rumor. I mean, there's a rumor about the Menendez brothers. There's one still out there doing her thing.
See, I don't understand that whole thing, like them trying to go home. I'm sorry, but if you could kill your own parents, what the fuck are you gonna do to me? Like, I don't trust people like that. So,
you don't
you know what I mean?
you
Like,
don't trust people that kill their parents. Me neither.
I'm saying like they do not need to be released. I don't wish jail on nobody, but people that kill their own parents, like
I
god
get
damn,
it.
like I definitely don't want y'all in this society. Like so Kim Kardashian needs to like go find someone else. I know a lifer that needs to come home, not them.
Facts. I know lifers that would deserve to come home as well, and that's what I'm vocal about because I was at the prison where the both Menendez brothers were. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to ride their coattails, but like that was relevant information to what we're discussing.
What was that like being around them?
I avoided them because
Yeah.
I can feel their manipulation tactics.
I heard
Um,
that in your Vlad TV interview.
I'm very good at reading people. Through 20 years of experience, I'm very good at reading people. I can tell when somebody's bullshitting and when somebody's not. So that helps working in a prison.
You think you learned that working in a prison, you think that helped you with that? Like,
Absolutely, yeah. And it's kind of weird because now I'm a civilian, meaning I don't have any ties to the job. And I do talk to previously incarcerated people, former prisoners, former inmates, and I do get that right and that opportunity now to be able to speak to them on a neutral playing field, and it's reciprocated, right? Because at one point in time they couldn't talk to the police,
yeah.
but now that we're no longer a part of that game, like I just want to make it clear that it is a certain environment where you kind of do have to separate yourself.
Yeah. What is some of the corruption that you've seen?
Oh man, for the mixing of the inmates, the enemies, after we told them don't do that, don't do that. And a lot of people, you got to understand that we had no idea what was happening. They didn't tell us what they were going to do. They just told us to do it. We started doing it. We brought all the problems up to their attention and they didn't care. They didn't care at all. Like they don't care about human lives at all.
So, yeah, because it's all a business to them. It's like it's the biggest business there is. That's why they're putting so much money into these prisons.
I'm starting to see that more now, because the longer I stay away from that place, the bigger perspective I get. And, there's a lot of like self help groups or prison groups that want to help, but a lot of them are all about the money, right?
Yeah.
They're not so much about the actual rehabilitation of each individual.
Because if they really wanted to rehabilitate people, they would get everybody therapy.
Facts.
And that's one thing you can't even get like that in prison. You have to ask like to see mental health. And the mental health could be too busy to see you because there's a million other people that want to see mental health.
I would say it's like the application of the way things are being applied because there is mental health in prison and there's a lot of it. But I believe, some inmates fake so that they can talk to the mental health. Some mental health professionals will add on certain like things just to keep the system going.
Yeah. Because they're using mental health to get out of that yard so they don't get beat
Facts.
up. So they go to the EOP yard
Yep.
because they don't want to go to a SNY yard because then
Yep.
people are really not going to fuck with them no more. This way they're going to say, oh, but I'm on medication. You could be on medication and be on the main line.
Those are the wildest yards too. Those EOP yards are wild. You know, and my first,
Why?
because I
But
did,
everyone's on medication. You would think they'd be calm.
not only are they on medication, but they're on bath salts, meth, freaking spice, fentanyl, heroin is just out of control.
Yeah, I seen yesterday somebody in prison sent me a video of somebody on off spice being taken away by like it was like 20 officers basically, and he was like bugging out.
That is not fun. That is not
No.
fun, because they get naked, they throw up, they make a mess, they run around screaming, delusional, and you actually have to tackle them and stop them because they can hurt somebody or themselves.
Yeah, and then I heard you could get like a shit bomb thrown at you if you try to help them. So it's
It
like,
all of that, even like overdoses, because inmates overdose daily, all day, every day
yeah.
they overdose. And there's times where officers, correctional officers, will do CPR and mouth to mouth, because we have a shield, a barrier. It's like a plastic. But I know of at least three occasions where the inmate vomited in the officer's mouth.
Wow. And
Yeah.
they have to do this because I'd be like, yeah, am I getting like a bonus for this? Like, why am I the one doing this?
Well, I would tell the officer, like, hey, man, did you really have to put your mouth near there? Like, you just do the chest compressions.
Yeah, I don't know if I oh, but with the women, it's like with a man, I feel like a man really does want to help or feels like he could handle it. With women, I for some reason always feel like if a woman gets that job, it's for bad reasons. It's never because even speaking to people every day in prison, I almost feel like I'm there, you know? So it's like as a CEO, you might almost feel like you're in there with
You
them.
do.
Yeah, like it starts to feel after a while, did you almost feel like, damn, like this is just too hard just being here. It's like depressive.
It was, I mean, realistically, a correctional officer, when they go in, those gates are shutting behind them too. They cannot open the gate unless they yell at the tower. You cannot bring your own personal cell phone inside of the prison. It's considered contraband. So you can't call home. You can't check on your family. Like if an emergency happens, they got to contact you through the prison. So I do understand that we do get to go home at the end of the day, but it still sucks to be in there. And I will tell you this: working for the prison system was a way more toxic experience and toxic environment than my 1 year deployment to Iraq. That's a fact.
Wow.
That's a fact. It was toxic in the prison system.
Can you talk about what was like the worst things you've seen?
Have you ever seen Game of Thrones, the HBO
Yeah.
series? It's like that, like your own people trying to gun for you, like your own people sabotaging you, like gossiping, rumors, like lying, freaking ratting on you. It's just crazy.
And
Like,
prison is so small that I know for a fact how gossipy it is. Like,
well, California, there's like 30 prisons, and
but
all
they
you
all
have to
talk to each other and they all, if something, there's gossip, everybody knows in every prison.
facts, facts, and it's
Yeah.
easy to run background checks on people, and we do it all the time. Like we do it all the time. Like that's something that the inmates do, but staff members also do the same thing, and I've let the public know about that.
So if you're dealing with someone, do y'all like check to see what they're in there for? Because I wouldn't want to know if like I'm talking to a rapist.
Luck in 2012, everything went to a computer monitor. So it was much faster to just type in the inmate's number and be able to see their commitment offense. And it will tell you their commitment offense. It'll tell you, you know, rape, murder, burglary, um, car theft, carjacking, arson.
Yeah. And then for some reason, every time I interview somebody in prison and I ask them if there's a lot of gay shit going on, they always say there isn't. But then I'll speak to people that have been in prison that make those type of content, like, this is what prison was really like. And they'll tell you there's a lot of that in prison. People just don't want to talk about it.
On the SNY yards. On the SNY yards.
It's rape or is it consensual, you think?
Okay, okay, well, it's it's consensual, but there's no such thing as consensual sex in prison. That's in the policy. But you're
Yeah.
right. It's consensual. Yeah, it's normal. It's normal on an SNY. Couples, relationships, falling in love, getting their heart broken. I've seen it all. Domestic violence. I've seen it all.
Yeah. I feel like there's more domestic violence even with two women versus a woman and a man.
I'm talking about two men. One. Yeah, I'm talking about two men. Yeah,
Yeah.
in brokenhearted, in
Have you
love.
ever seen it where a man has a wife, but then he has a boyfriend in prison? That wow, that's like my fears. Like I have a husband, I'm loyal to him, and he's not loyal to me. It's like damn.
We've seen it. We've seen it in the prison that I was at. An inmate will have a girlfriend in the same yard, right? Always making out with the dude, and then we'll go to the visiting and make out with his wife. Wife has no idea that the dude has a boyfriend.
Damn, that's crazy. And but are there guards? No, I don't think so. Like, has a guard ever tried to tell a wife, like, yo, or that's like, you're not supposed to do that?
I wouldn't say it's like forbidden. It all depends on which officer you get, right? If you got a crazy dude or a wild dude or a funny dude, he can probably be like, "Hey, you should ask your man who so and so is," right? But for the most part, I don't really seen that. They kind of just let him be.
Yeah. I used to think like maybe if I'm nice to the COs when I go to visit my ex, maybe they'll tell me if he has another bitch coming to see him. But no, they're not gonna tell you because
They're
they're the
not gonna
ones
tell
coming to
you.
see him. She wants it
Yeah,
more than I do, probably.
that happens too, where they'll get numerous. I mean, I ain't trying to give up game or ruin nobody's game on the freaking internet, but that happens where they'll have multiple visitors.
No, for sure. And the way I found out is because when I came for a visit in New York, if they
Yeah.
already have somebody visiting them and you come later, they don't let you in. They'll tell you he already has a visitor. If you come at the same time, they'll put both of you at the same table.
Wow.
Yeah. I heard in California, even if you come after me and I'm already visiting my man and you're also his girl, they'll still put you at the table. In New York, they're not doing that. You got to show up at the same time if you want to be at the table.
Yeah, I've heard of disputes. I've heard of girls getting at it in the parking lot, getting at each other because they went to go visit the same man without knowing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like to me it's like fighting over a man and it's like you got to just expect that your man in prison has another girl because they're waiting for you to like leave at any second. They're going to have a backup plan. They're not going to just be all alone cuz you left.
It's not all like that though. I mean, to be realistic, 100%, there's some dudes that are extremely loyal to their wives and girlfriends, like 100%, right? So
Yeah.
it's just your couple that playing the game.
Yeah. How was
Yeah,
it
it's
for
not
you having a
everybody.
relationship like while you were there? Is it hard?
Me having a relationship.
Yeah, like to maintain a relationship while working at a prison, is it difficult?
The crazy thing is that my marriage actually lasted the whole entirety of my career, 16 years, and then my marriage fell apart at 1 year after I quit the department.
Why do
So
you think that was?
I think it was because I don't want to say she's a gold digger, right? I don't want to say that, but like I've maybe she realized like fuck this dude doesn't have a job no more. He's like a bum, like maybe that's what it was, and more time at home instead of me going to the work and coming home. That could have affected there was a lot of factors that affected the marriage. It had already been having its issues in the years coming, but it finally
Yeah.
fell apart.
But what did you want to do? Like when you quit, in your mind, what did you think? Like, okay, I'm gonna do this instead. Did you have like a plan, or were you on some like, fuck this, I'm quitting, I'll figure it out later?
Initially, I wanted to be a firearms instructor and teach people how to shoot firearms. But then I realized I'm in California, and California doesn't have gun friendly laws here. So I kind of had to shift, and I kind of just put all my eggs in one basket in YouTube. And then I wrote a book. So like I'm just hustling and grinding, to maintain.
Yeah.
But I'm having
No, and
fun with it though.
I think it was the whole like you being home more because if I'm used to my man, let's say he's a truck driver, he's always on the road. That's what I get used to just being on the phone with him, and then I have my own things I do. But if he's here all the time, I'm not gonna lie. Like me and my ex fiance, we broke up because we were just around each other too much. If he had other shit he was doing instead of trying to help me with what I do,
Yeah.
we maybe would have still been together. But it's you just like quitting everything you're doing, just focusing on what I got going on. It was a lot. It's like
No, that's definitely a thing. I mean, if you're used to leaving the pad and going to work, having your separate schedules, that's a thing. That's helpful. But I believe that's healthy for a relationship. But you're right. When you're spending too much time together, there's no give. There's no leeway.
Yeah,
There's no breathing room.
but I mean, nothing ever lasts forever. So I think,
Oh, I mean, and then COVID in 2020, that was a fiasco in the prison system. But a lot of relationships suffered as a result of people being home together.
yeah, everybody was either getting pregnant or breaking up.
Or domestic violence. Yeah.
Yeah, thank God I did neither. I was just focused and I was working. I had a relationship. Okay, fine. I did a little domestic violence. I
You
did
did?
a little bit. Yeah, but because I wasn't seeing no one else, it's like it's you know what I mean.
Correct.
I did a little
No,
hitting,
I,
but
I get it.
he deserved it.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you were you only in male prisons or
Yeah, 100% only in male prisons. I never wanted to work around females, and I definitely never wanted to work around juveniles.
why? Because then it's you're kind of like how women work at a male prison, then it looks a little like why is he choosing to work there?
No, because I know that women are emotional. I know that they're emotional. I know that
Yeah.
sometimes they don't, process things like men do. So that's
We're
one
way
reason.
more manipulative than men.
That too. I don't feel like I could have been manipulated, right? Because I would have went in there with a professional mindset, but I
Yeah.
never even wanted to put myself in that position, right? I wouldn't want to be having to deter manipulation on a daily basis. That would have been exhausting.
Yeah, I think like if I could work in a female prison, I wouldn't be able to work in a male prison for sure. At least I'm honest with myself.
Yeah.
But what are like in your book, what do you mainly speak on?
In my book, I give tips to the new correctional officers that are coming in, more of like a old school tips and tricks, as opposed to how like everything has changed out in society. It's a softer society. Uh, how to use your communication skills appropriately, how to de-escalate situations, how to use force when necessary, learning the policy, and then like of course I did show the corruption. I put documentation of the corruption.
Did you when you were writing the book, were you a little like nervous that what if they come after me?
No, because when I quit, I was willing to go all the way, put everything on the line. And it's funny you should say that because they have literally been coming after me for the last 3 years. They have filed search warrants into my phone records, into my email accounts, into my Google, YouTube accounts. They're just trying to shut me down and shut me up.
Have are they threatening you with like going to prison or just
No,
lawsuits?
they have not threatened me with lawsuits because if you think about it, everything I have been saying is 100% factual and documented. So
Yeah.
it's not slander or defamation of character because it's the truth.
Yeah. Was when you originally were working there though, is there any type of contract you signed that you can't disclose certain things? No, right?
No, but like I'm pretty sure they do that now after I came out swinging.
For sure. There's no way they don't because they know
Correct.
nowadays everyone's trying to write a book, including the people in prison. So
Well, that's not why I did it. I really felt at the time in 2022 that somebody or something had to happen to let the public know exactly what was happening in there because it was beyond dangerous.
yeah. I speak to people sometimes and I'm like, is there ever a chance that people just put this gang shit to the side and just all get along? And it's like, no, that's not happening.
Never. No, it can't work
No.
that way.
It's so deep and I you would think in prison it's like it's the races are against each other, but it's if it's black people coming at each other too, that's even worse because Mexicans and they don't mix like that. They don't, you know what I mean? They don't get into it with Mexicans. It's more they get into it with each other. But what do you think something can something be done to fix things or
So actually, when it comes to race riots in 2014, 2015, the prison gang leaders in the shoe, they actually did an end of all hostility peace treaty in an exchange to kind of get out. That was kind of the terms. And they basically said, "Hey, we will end all race riots." And to give them credit, they stuck to their deal. They have not. Those race riots are nothing compared to what they used to be like in the past. They're pretty much non-existent.
Were you ever in a riot?
One, oh yeah,
How many?
I've probably been in three or four, three or four major race riots, and I think every single time was the black inmates against the Mexican inmates.
How does it
But
even start? Is it just like they get into a fight and just how
there's
do you know when a
numerous
riot's about to happen, basically?
Well, there's numerous ways it can start. One can be spontaneous, meaning like, everybody can just be doing their thing. And then something happens where, let's say, they bump each other's shoulder, or if somebody calls another dude a bad name, it's going to crack, right? Because here in California, if one member of a race gets involved in an altercation, everybody's jumping in. Everybody's jumping in. That even goes for the cops, though. The COs, like if one Mexican gets involved with the cops, then all the Mexicans are going to jump the cops, which sucks because
Damn.
you're outnumbered like fucking 200 to 1.
So, and then when they attack them, it's like, are they stabbing or just like punching on you?
Probably, to be realistic, if it's a level 4 yard, it's going to be 100% stabbings, right? If it's a
Yeah.
level 3 yard, there's going to be stabbings. There's going to be stabbings for sure. They're not shy to stab people at all. Because
Yeah.
even level twos and level ones, they still get busy.
In your opinion, do you think there's certain people that go to jail on purpose to try to prove themselves?
I think there's people that go to prison on purpose because they don't have nothing out here on the streets. Like if they're homeless and
Yeah.
they want food and shelter. Yeah,
Damn. That's true because I seen a video one time of this guy. He was like bailing people out on some holiday. And then one of the guys he bailed out, he was like, "Why'd you bail me out? I'm good. Like I was chilling. Put me
yeah,
back in there. Bail someone else out." And he's like, "Well, you're stuck with me now. Where are we going?"
right.
So,
There's that, but then also you did mention to prove themselves. You got to think about when people are young, 19 years old, 20 years old, 21. They're still developing. Their brain is still developing. So if they're caught up in the gang life, all that comes with it. Prison,
yeah.
death, hospitals, that all comes with the territory. So yeah, a lot of people do aspire to make it to prison.
Yeah. And then what's like was there ever a good day in prison? Like is there ever like maybe like Christmas or I know holidays could be even more sad.
If I were to say something, it'd be like Super Bowl Sunday would be cool to watch the game, eat snacks with your friends, potluck, because even the inmates are in their cell watching the television set. So kind of when everybody's kind of minding their own business and doing their own thing, it's chill in prison. It's freaking chill. Everybody's happy. Even
And
even if they're drinking, right? Even if the inmates are drinking Pruno, inmate manufactured alcohol. I mean, we know that they're drinking. I mean, sometimes you can smell the weed all crazy, but it's one of those things where you kind of let a little bit slide. You know what I mean? You you let certain things slide, especially if they're not bothering you at all.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, it's like a lot of people get straight bottles. I've seen like actual like Ciroc.
I've only seen that here in California on the level 1 yards, the minimum facilities,
I
where
seen it on a level 4.
hell no, I've never seen that. I would not be surprised though because it can come in, but yeah, I've seen it on level ones.
Yeah, but no, certain shit I've seen, I'm even surprised. Like I had somebody in prison in Toronto call me from Canada, and they have Balenciagas on, a chain. I think he had a grill. I was like, who the fuck are you fucking that you get all like he had
Ace.
weed, drugs, like
So I carpooled with a guy that I worked for 14 years, 15 years. We worked together, this guy and I. He actually got caught bringing in grills for the inmates on the yard,
damn.
and he got sentenced to federal prison.
And how do you think it is for somebody who was that CO going to prison?
I mean, for him, I think he will fit right in because that's the kind of way he was acting already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's say you're a CO and you're a dick to everybody, and then you get caught bringing in drugs. You're kind of fucked, cause
Well, here's the crazy thing. That dude went to a federal prison. I don't know where, Missouri or on the East Coast. He went that way somewhere. But if you are a correctional officer or a police officer and you commit a crime in California and you end up in a state prison, yes, you're going to end up on an SNY yard. And I've seen
uh,
plenty. I've seen plenty.
By
But the
choice, or like they have to say it, or they automatically put them there because they're a CO?
automatic.
Oh,
But the inmates don't mess with them. Like it's not like a whole. It's trust me, they just blend right in.
yeah. Because I've heard of certain inmates going into an SNY yard and then fighting everybody there because he's still a gangster at heart, but
That's what we took part in when we were mixing them. That's what we were doing. We were getting real gangsters and putting them on SNY yards, knowing that they were going to fight or stab each other or kill. And yeah, they would do it.
like
Eh,
I've seen so many instances even where I feel like COs are kind of setting inmates up to get, hurt.
So I got to let you guys know that those orders are coming from way above the CO level, way above.
You
It's
think it's
just
the warden?
higher than the warden. It is coming from the governor on down. It's coming from Gavin Newsom on down. That's a fact.
What do you think their
Um,
intention is?
money, money, money. Somebody's getting paid. People are getting paid up at the top to do this for sure. I've already researched it. I've seen it on their websites. You can see who donates money to the political candidates. It's
Hmm.
all on there. And I've even looked at the 1099 tax returns and you can see where they contribute money. Even our union, and I keep saying our, even though I don't work there no more. Even the
Yeah,
correctional officer union, they are in bed. They are part of the corruption. Absolutely 100% part of the corruption.
yeah,
Yeah.
damn.
It's
And at this
gross.
point, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's disgusting. It's utterly disgusting because you would expect a lot. You would expect them to do the right thing under oath.
How would that make them more money though if people kill each other?
They it to them dead bodies are nothing. It doesn't.
But isn't it easier? We already have a certain amount of people. Let them live here instead of like killing them and then bringing more people. Don't you make the same money off of these people already? Like, why do you
I
have to live?
guess they're manufacturing chaos. They're creating chaos. So I guess it's no different than in civilian life. If you got like police officers or government officials, mayors, um, there's gangs that are at war with each other on the streets. When you create chaos at the lower level, they are able to get away with all the grimy shit they're doing up at the top behind closed doors. But we've caught
Because
on. But we've caught on now as a society
what
to
are
their
they
little
getting away with though?
money. Money. It's no different than the Biden administration, right? Oh, I gotta let you know, I'm not like a conspiracy theorist or anything. Like these are just
Yeah.
facts. These are just facts from my observations and experiences. Like the whole war in Ukraine. It's funny how Biden is involved with Ukraine and making backdoor deals and money. It's all these backdoor deals. Narcan here in California to revive overdosed people. They are making a killing off of Narcan. So it's
Yeah.
like basically what you're doing is you're feeding the machine. So if you let the fentanyl come in from Mexico, right, and you let it hit all these people and they're gonna overdose, you just put all the money into Narcan, give it to everybody, and now it's just a machine of death.
Got it.
You see how
Damn.
that works?
Yeah.
And they don't care about the dead bodies. They just care about the money being used by the Narcan. And but these are just examples that I'm giving you, and that's how the Department of Corrections in California is ran.
What are some little changes they can do to help maybe?
It-
Nothing?
what they have to do is put ethical people in place that will not sell out their soul for money
Where are
or
we gonna
power
find those?
or power or position or titles, because it's not just about money. These people that I used to work for are egotistical narcissistic psychopaths. Like that's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know if you've ever met people like that.
I've met a lot of bad people. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
from
me too.
Brooklyn. I was born in Russia. I've met a lot of bad
Oh,
people
you were
there.
born in Russia?
Born in Moscow, came here when I was 9, and then I grew up in
Okay.
Brooklyn my whole life. And I go back once a year, like for 2 weeks to a month, and I always see my family and stuff. But I've been here my whole life.
So the crazy thing is like even though you're in Brooklyn and I'm over here in California, it's all the similarities throughout the United States.
Yeah.
Everything, it's all the same thing happening because I'm in contact with pretty much everybody in every state or somebody in at least every state. So it's all similar. It's almost like it's by design.
Yeah. What do you think about the fact that there's a meme I seen where it's like a prison and a high school are very similar. It'll be like the how the outside where the rec area is, the plate, that you get from a school lunch. It's like the lockers. Why does it resemble prison so much?
Why does what resemble prison so much?
Like schools.
Mm. I mean, I would only say only because it's easy to it's easy to like keep them in line, either children or inmates.
Yeah. But then it's like, what are people really learning? It's like in school, they're not even learning, they're not teaching us anything that's going to prevent us from going to prison. They're not teaching us about taxes. They're teaching us about things we don't really need.
So I have a 7-year-old daughter, second grade. Luckily, she's in a good school, right? It's not like one of those schools that teach a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, but you're right. You're 100% right. So since I've been without a job, or I should say, self-employed for 3 years, um, I've gotten a big overview on how government works. It's a machine, right? They teach you when you're young, go to school, get a job, pay your taxes, right? Pay Uncle Sam, and just contribute back, get the retirement plan. So they get people on what I call the hamster wheel. And like once you're on it, because I was on it for 20 years, if you think about it,
Yeah.
it's almost damn impossible to get off of it. It's almost
Yeah.
impossible.
That's why when you try to be self-employed, it's like they try to make it hard for you. But during the
Facts.
pandemic, the only people that had jobs were the people that they used to call us like, oh, go get a real job. During the pandemic, no one else had a job but the people online. So
Yeah, the pandemic opened up a lot of people's eyes. Social media has opened up a lot of people's eyes. You know, we're wiser now. We've caught on. We've caught on to
mhm.
the machine, the system.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
and I'm wearing the shirt that says "Trust God, not government." But trust me when I tell you, I'm not like a political fanatic or anything crazy like that. I'm like a regular dude. And I used to skate when I was in high school, so I just call things for how they are, or yeah, how they are.
yeah, I'm not a like a what's that called, a theory.
Conspiracy theorists.
I'm not, but whenever I hear one of those people that are like, they're coming after me, I believe them though. I always think like,
They are
what if
coming
they're
after.
telling the truth?
Hey, they are coming after me. I got the search. I got the copy of the search warrants to prove it.
I no, I believe you because I feel like there's no way they're not. If so
sometimes,
and
sometimes people are like, "Hector, aren't you afraid they're gonna kill you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it does cross my mind. I wouldn't put it past them, which is
yeah, I didn't
scary."
want to say that, but I would like it. Hopefully that doesn't. No, I mean, hopefully when I hit you the next time on Instagram, hey, how are you? I get a
were
response.
Were you thinking that?
In my mind, I mean, listen, I think someone's after me every day. So it's like if I'm coming after like some powerful ass people, I would think that any second someone could just poison me.
People tell me that, and I'm starting to see it more. I don't walk around scared though. You know, I have a faith. I have a higher power. I have faith. I'm very grounded. I'm spiritually, emotionally, and mentally strong. I have sobriety for the record. I'm coming up on 15 years of sobriety from
Yeah.
alcohol. So like I'm in a good place to make good decisions.
Yeah. And I have a lot of people need to take that because I know so many people even now that are drinking and on some everyday shit. And it's like, bro, I don't know who needs to hear this, but stop drinking. That shit is not helping you. It's only harming you.
Facts.
And I speak as someone that I didn't even know it was possible to be an alcoholic till I moved to Miami. And people drink every fucking day. It's either
Yeah.
the gym people or the fun people. So they wake up, they take a Xanax, they start their day off with a fucking Bloody Mary
Oh
every
hell no.
fucking day. So, yo,
So
whoever is listening, please, like,
so
today is your day to get sober.
that used to be me. I mean, I was drinking a fifth of vodka a night. When I
During
was
the prison, like the
No,
time.
no, when I got back from Iraq and I was 19, 20 years old. I was 20
Yeah,
years old and I was suffering from post traumatic stress disorder and self medicating. That's when I was drinking a fifth of vodka a night.
yeah,
It was bad. It was bad. So I can relate, right? So when I speak, I'm speaking from experience. I'm not just making shit up but
yeah. Me too. Like, if I ever speak on something, it's because I've seen it firsthand or
right.
went through it, and I have
Facts.
family members like my sister. My mom was an alcoholic. My sister is an
Okay.
alcoholic, and my dad always told me, like, be careful because you got that gene in you. And I'm like, Just because that's like if your parents are crackheads, that don't mean you're gonna be a crackhead.
So
Yes, it can. It could
it's
really do
funny.
that.
It's funny you say that because I do believe it's hereditary. My
Yeah,
grandfather was an alcoholic. It skipped my dad. It got me, and I observe my daughter now, and I'm like, I hope she doesn't have it. I hope she doesn't have it.
that's all on you. My dad, it's like he always just instilled it in me that I don't have the right to be an alcoholic. Like he just he's not gonna play that shit. So just to not like, even when I was going through it, I made sure like to get through it just because I couldn't disappoint him.
That's awesome.
So,
That's
you
awesome.
know, thank God, because I think a lot of people don't have anyone to even
Acts.
disappoint or not. So thank God for
Dang.
that.
No, you're right.
Do you feel like maybe therapy could have helped you when you came home, or you think it was?
So in 2005, when I came home, therapy was frowned upon. Therapy for me was frowned upon.
Yeah,
I uh I thought I was too machismo. I'm Mexican. I'm definitely stubborn. I did not seek treatment and ask for help and surrender until the year 2010. And
and
I hit my bottom.
how was that like when you
Oh,
finally? Yeah,
it was the darkest time in my life. Well, I'm not gonna say the darkest because the darkest was as I was getting there, right?
yeah,
But it I basically tell people it was the most courageous thing I ever did. Um,
100%.
because at that point I was gonna die or I was gonna make it, and I asked for help, and then they admitted me into a rehab, 28-day inpatient rehab at the VA hospital, and then I've been on and cracking ever since.
Wow, your first time. That's really good.
My first time to the introduction to the program, but people talk about like relapsing. If you think about it, I have relapsed in the past prior to being sober. I've tried to stop on my own numerous times and it
Yeah.
failed. Yeah, but since I've been in recovery, I have not relapsed yet, but I also let people know that I'm not exempt from relapsing.
Anyone who's an addict can relapse any day. It's literally a struggle every single day. I have a
Facts.
friend who's married to this supermodel who he used to be like straight up used to smoke crack. And
Yeah.
now it's like every day I could see it in him. He has to fight to stay sober because everyone around him is partying, drinking. He's nothing around, nothing but porn stars. So it's like you're around party vibes all the time. But like the life he has, you could see like he's really fighting to keep it because he doesn't want to lose his wife and kids. And but you're
Oh
fighting
wow.
every day. And I like how you said that you're Mexican. So it's like I used to always say, I'm Russian. We don't believe in therapy because growing up, my dad didn't even let me go to therapy. It was like, Russians don't believe in that. But it's like,
Right.
fuck that. I'm Russian. I'm Mexican. I'm white. I'm black. I'm
Right.
Asian. Get therapy. I don't give a fuck what your parents are telling you. That's one thing.
Oh
Go
yeah.
get, yeah.
So it's crazy that you bring up parents because my parents are old school. I was born in 1984. They're old
Mhm.
school, and fuck, dude, I had to undo a lot of beliefs that they instilled in me. They always told me, Hector, don't ever buy a Mercedes. Don't ever buy a Mercedes. It costs a lot to repair. And I never bought my first Mercedes up until 3 years ago because
Yeah.
they always told me not to do it. And I'm like, why the fuck did I listen to them? Like, this is a badass ride.
Yeah. Don't ever buy a BMW. That'll be my advice.
Really?
That was the worst fucking car I ever had in my life, a Beamer 5. The 2
Yeah.
was fire. The 5 was horrible. It was slow, and I still caught like 17 speeding tickets. I don't know how.
Oh man.
So don't ever get a Beamer. And I broke the brakes. So when I gave it into it, bro, it took them 6 months to give me my car back because they needed to get a part from Germany. Fuck y'all. I don't even drive anymore. That's how much I hate driving after that
Wow.
car. Ooh. And as a woman, if you have a car, you're only attracting men with no cars. So don't have a car.
Right.
And if you attract a man with no car, at least if he make sure he at least will take the bus for you. Because if he won't do that, then he ain't shit.
True.
Yeah. But damn, what is your book called again?
Operation Yard Recall.
Operation Yard Recall. Thank you so much. Is what would be your message to the kids? That's one question I ask everybody.
My message to the kids, and it'd be the same as speaking to my daughter, is like, hey, slow down. Slow down. You have your whole life to, grow up and deal with bills and responsibilities. It's like, hey, focus. Focus, develop yourself, develop positive habits, and, learn how to do things the right way the first time around. Because I
Facts.
learned every lesson I learned in life, I learned the hard way.
Do you wish that she learned from your mistakes?
Yes. Yes. I give her leash. I give her leash, meaning I'm not as strict to her as my parents were strict to me. I kind of allow her to make mistakes.
That's what my dad did, and I think by him allowing me is there's certain mistakes I just didn't make because I knew I can, but I'm not. But had he
Correct.
told me don't do that, it would have forced me to do it.
Correct.
Damn. But thank you so much. It was so nice meeting you.
Thank you. Likewise. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And please come back anytime. I always
For
do like a
sure.
part two, part three.
Sweet.
Thank you so much. And
Cool.
guys, like, comment, subscribe. We will be back a little later. Thank you again.
Alrighty. Bye.